Hello, good morning. I hope that you are all safe and well. Today is a special day for Hands Across the Sea samplers because it is the release day of our second Little Gem. And our Little Gem series are ones that are available by PDF download at this time whilst we're all isolating. The second Little Gem is a Scottish sampler, and it was stitched by a little girl who didn't record her name. All she recorded were her initials EB and the date 1860. So we have decided to call this sampler the Chequerboard House EB 1860. I first saw this sampler when it came up for auction, and what made me stop and look at it was the checkerboard house. It's so distinctive, and as I'm always saying, I do like different. Then when I stopped and looked at the sampler and read the verse, I really love this verse. In all thy ways acknowledge God, and he shall direct thy paths. And I think in this time of great unknown, we are in an unknown period. We all have to rely on the known. So for me, in all thy ways acknowledge God, and he shall direct thy paths. That's a good little mantra to live our lives by at this time. The original sampler was stitched on linen that's approximately 24 count. It is all cross stitch over 2, with the exception of a little bird here and a little bird here, which is in over 1. But what we have done in the booklet, or I should say not the booklet, the PDF download, we have included birds over 2 graphed for you. So if you are going to be stitching this on Ada, you don't have to worry about the over 1. You can just switch these 2 little birds to over 2. The other stitch is double running stitch, and she's used double running stitch quite a bit. This little line here and these little vines going down are double running stitch, and the roof is actually in double running stitch as well. Here is our model, and on our model you will see that we have stitched the roof with cross stitch over 2, and the reason we did that was that when the model was finished, with our chosen fabric and thread, it looked very sparse, but it is graphed as the original sampler, double running stitch for the roof, but you could, if you wanted to, change that roof to cross stitch over 2. Now the other stitch that she used was turkey work on the lawns, and that is very typical of Scottish samplers. You can see the turkey work here. Very effective, very pretty. But we also realised that not everybody would want to stitch their sampler with turkey work. So in the graph, this is graphed so you can stitch the lawns with cross stitch over 2 or the turkey work. We're really trying to cater for everybody's tastes and chosen fabric and stitching abilities. So this is the model, which is not framed. Our framer is closed and we are in isolation, so I wouldn't go to the framers even if they were open at the moment. So isn't that pretty? Very sweet sampler and very different. Now the colours may not be capturing correctly in this light, so I have taken a photograph of the silks, the 103 and the Dalgé, against the chosen fabric for you to see. Aren't those colours scrumptious? Mouth-wateringly scrumptious. Now, will that stay there? Yes. Okay. So what do you get with your PDF download? Well, you actually get quite a few pages. I think there might be around about 17 pages. You get a front cover with a photograph. And I'm afraid that my printer is running out of coloured ink and it's impossible to buy ink at the moment. It seems to be a little bit like toilet paper printer ink. Then you get a short story. It's not our normal 4 pages because this is, after all, a little gem. You will then get instructions of the cross stitch over 1 and 2, but remember, if you don't want to stitch cross stitch over 1 or you've chosen to stitch on Ada, you can just replace the birds with cross stitch over 2, double running stitch and turkey work. You then will get a thread legend, and the thread legend shows DMC, Vera Soir d'Alger and 103. And we also give you the linen sizes in 28, 30, 32, 36, 40, 46 and 56. The model was stitched on 45 count legacy linen in woven sedge. But if you're looking to stitch it on a different count of linen, you need to go for linen between the shades, DMC shades of 30, 33 and 3782, and that will give you quite a wide range of linens and Ada to choose from. Then you will get a colour graph with symbols and colour blocks, and it's a 6-page graph. And then you also have a black and white symbol graph, but the double running stitch is shown in colour so that you can tell what threads you should be using. Now this has been reproduced with 14 different shades of colour, and you know, the colours are really, really beautiful, unusual colours. But I'm very, very pleased with this reproduction. I think it's worked beautifully. She is available on our website for download now, so that's Hands Across the Sea samplers. This sampler is called the Chequerboard House EB 1860. She is priced at £10 English for a download, and that's approximately around $12 US at the moment. When you purchase the download, immediately you will receive an email that will acknowledge that your purchase is complete, and that email will contain a link for you to download the sample. With regards to stores, if stores would like to contact me about having access to the download to sell for their stores, please do so. I don't want to exclude stores because it's very, very important that at this time we we support all our stores. So there she is. I hope that you think that she's as sweet as I think she is. She's very different. She's going to look very, very sweet on your sampler wall. I think that house is adorable. Absolutely adorable. It's just so different. It really, really is. Anyway, enjoy the Chequerboard House. The third in our Little Gems series will release 2 weeks today. It's been really heartening to see how many of the Mary steads are being stitched. I call her Steed, but my husband says I should be saying Mary Stead, so I stand corrected. There we are. enjoy the Chequerboard House, and until the next time, stay safe, stay well, and bye-zy bye.